guess what? I had somebody to make me an intro song. I kept talking about I needed some music, and guess what? Somebody decided to give me a little song. So I'm gonna play my music and I'm gonna sing my intro. So I'm excited about that. Mike, wherever you at, man, I appreciate you. Mike and I went to high school together. He reached out to me, was like, "Ew, would you mind if I made a little song to you?" And I said, I surely would not mind. So going to we're gonna sing a little song, y'all. That's okay. And this is the first time, okay? Give this a go. I have never done this before. And hopefully, I mean, it's my Mondays. Y'all can probably hear my kids in the background. They don't want to go to bed. If you can hear them crying, that's what it is. They all right. They fine. Okay. So here, I hope y'all can hear this. But here we go. Mommy, Monday. Go and grab yourself a little snack while we have ourselves a little chat. Now, Mommy, Monday. What?
Child, you know you can sing always.
Millie Wop on every block. Okay, so I'm so glad to have Jeannie with me, y'all. If you can see it, we relaxed, we chilling. You know what I'm saying? T-shirts,
Super chill.
hair down. You know. So I'm gonna jump right in today because for some reason on Mommy Mondays, it's always a little stressful for me trying to make it to Mommy Monday. Okay, the kids, these are my nerves. This is them tap dancing on my nerves. Okay, this is them tap dancing on my nerves every Mommy Monday. Okay, so today I wanted to talk about the language you use with your kids.
Oh, and you had to pick me for this episode? I think you did this on purpose. Now
I
I'm
did
sure
not.
you did this on purpose.
I did not. I'm telling you, today was rough. So that's why I'm choosing this particular topic. The language that we use with our kids. Okay, and Jenny, I'm gonna go over to Facebook for a second, so I'm not gonna see you in your actual movement, so that I can see the comments and everything. But listen, so I have a very hard time with saying exactly what it is that I want to say while I tend to my children. And what I mean by that is, um, you know, my kids are small, as everybody should know by now. They're 1, 5, and 6. And I don't want them picking up certain language. So with my children, I do not use vulgar language. I don't curse with my kids. And cursing isn't something that I just like naturally do and that I have to do. But sometimes when we get frustrated, angry, or upset, our language and our tone, it changes. So I have found myself lately just wanting to just kind of, and I found myself being more stressful not saying what I want to say rather than just blurting out what I want. It's more stressful just trying to hold it in. So, how do you communicate with your daughter?
You set me up.
I did not
Because
set you up.
you did, because I'm the total opposite. And, I don't know if people know this about me. I mean, the people close to me, maybe not so close, even my coworkers, they know. So, oh boy, you put me on the spot. Why can't you tell me all of this before? I thought we was cool.
Listen, nobody gets a script. Every Monday is just raw. Ask B, because last week she was like, hey, wait, we're going a little deep. Hold on. So
yes.
I just go with it. I go with my day, how I went, and then I start talking about my day, and then I just ask you questions.
I hear you. I hear you. I see that. But I have a hard time not cursing. Not I say exactly what I want to say. So it's the total opposite of what you do. I say and I communicate exactly what I want to communicate, even though I may not say it in the best way possible. However, even worse than maybe saying a cuss word here and there in front of Jada, or, you know, to Jada. And she's 11, by the way, and very, very mature for her age. So I can talk to her in a way that she understands when I mean business, or, you know, when she has a little leeway or
Right.
whatever. But I don't say
Right.
vulgar words. You know, I might have a damn here and there. But for the most part, you know, she knows she's not supposed to say certain words and stuff like that. But I think my biggest issue, I don't know if it's the Hispanic thing, is being loud. I get that all the
Okay.
time. Oh boy, Omar gets me for that all the time. It's, I don't even know that I'm being loud. That's how we talk.
Well, maybe
It's a
you need to
it's a
get your
culture.
ears cleaned out. You know, my daughter,
No,
she real loud, and we got her ears cleaned out, and she wasn't
mm-mm,
as loud.
mm-mm.
So, maybe that.
No, ma'am. This is normal. This is natural. This is in my culture. My mom does it. It comes all the way up. So I have been very mindful for a long time about that. And sometimes I do well. And, you know, it's just something that I'm still working on. But
Listen.
more than just my words, my real issue is my tone
Mm.
and being loud. And yeah, so I have to take that into consideration, and I have to calm down before I really talk to her. But I always say exactly what I mean. Um, I mean,
But
it's
I
not
think it's
bad.
one of the things, so even not with our kids, but just in relationships in general, one of the things that, I tell people all the time is sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So I think when you say that, you know, you can identify, I can identify the fact that I am loud,
Mhm.
and you take that into account when you are addressing her or addressing people in general, since you know that when
Right.
certain situations make your emotions change, that you
Hmm.
become loud.
Being
And I think
conscious in
that,
the moment.
right, being
Hmm.
conscious in the moment. And I think that it's important for us to be able to realize that, you know, when we communicate with people, sometimes we might be saying something great, but it might be the way that we're saying it, whether that's our tone, our body language, or just those two things combined. So what is it that you think parents in general, maybe not just you, what is it in general that you think parents need to focus on when they are communicating with their kids?
I think they should focus on how they're feeling, right? Where are you? Are you in the car? Are you, you know, in the middle of an aisle at a supermarket? Where are you? How are you feeling? Is it something that can wait till you calm down? Or is it something imminent, like an emergency where you have to say what you have to say right then and there in case
Mhm.
something happens? So I think that's most important sometimes.
Yeah.
Um, Knowing where you are, being mindful of your surroundings and what you're about to say. Um, yeah, I think that's probably one of the most important things.
And I think for me, when I communicate with my children, I try to remind myself, how did I feel as a child? Because a lot of times the way our parents raised us definitely isn't the way we can raise our children, just because of the times that we live in. And
Hmm.
I think about, and this is no, you know, I don't even know what word to use, but this is no bad intent on my mother at all. My mom did the best she could with what she had, when she could. And back then, one of the things I talked with my mom and my grandmother about is that back then they didn't realize that if they had a mental health issue or, any type of problem, because it wasn't something that they addressed back then. They just knew that they felt overwhelmed, they felt frustrated, they broke down, all these different things that they just know that's the way they felt. And so for me, as an adult raising children, now I feel like, oh, okay, what is it that I need to do to communicate with my children so they don't grow up the way that I did? Not that the way that I grew up was wrong, but it definitely is not right for them in this time. And I
Hmm.
think that portion of it, the weight of that for a parent can be overwhelmed. And the only reason I say that is because I have been, just so overwhelmed, not being that, trying to be better than that.
Well, I think you're already being better than that. You're coming on a platform and you're tackling some of those issues that everybody is going through, because some of us stay stuck in that. Well, my mom never talked to me about having my cycle, and my mom didn't talk to me about what sex was, and my mom didn't talk to me about, where kids come from. And I think one of the things that are most important now that we know better, talk to your kids about those things. Listen, when you did X, Y, and Z, remember when I told you when we go to the store, you are not to pick up not one thing. We're going in and we're going out. I came for one thing. I'm going to get that one thing and we leaving, right? And then they grab 2 and 3 and can I have this? Right. So you handle it that moment, you say no. But however, like me, when I get to the car, didn't I tell you?
Right, let loose in the car.
Right. But not only that, but there's a deeper thinking than just saying, I told you not to get that. That's used to be me, because I started screaming really easy, really fast, right? But now I catch myself and I say, before we went to the store, I told you not to grab this or not to grab that I was going for just one thing, right? Right. Tell me what is it that you heard when I said that? And she will repeat.
That was that life coaching I do for you. That was.
I know that I'm not supposed to grab anything. Right. Let me see. What did you perceive when you started to grab things? What were the steps in your mind that made you think that this was okay after I just had a conversation with you? Right. So I make her go through that process. And so it's not grab a belt, because that's what my mom used to do. I told your ass, right? But so now I didn't like that belt, right? I knew that I should have not grabbed anything. However, I really wanted that piece of candy. I made all the decisions in my own mind on why I should have had that piece of candy.
Right.
Even though she told me not to grab anything. So she's a kid. She's still and very smart. She's still going to find a way to say, hey, I know you told me not to grab anything. And she says that to me now. I know you told me not to grab anything. However, and she'll go and explain on why she should. Right? And
best explainers. I'm not ready.
So that's what I do in the car. Walk me through what you didn't understand about what I said before we walked in there. Because then it goes to like, okay, so you're disrespecting me. You're not listening to me. You told yourself, bump what my mama said, I'm gonna go grab these things because I want them. So is it that? And I give her these examples, right? So I make her, not because I'm really trying to make her feel bad or anything, but I want her to use her thought process for the next time when she start to grab something, I told her not to grab it. Because it could be anything. It's the principle, right? It's not that I can't afford to buy her one thing or whatever. It's not that, I might be in a rush. It might, in another instance, I might need her right next to me where she can't go to the next aisle to grab a piece of candy that she didn't see in this aisle. Like, we might not have that type of time. So I need you to listen to me, because in the case of an emergency, if you don't listen to me, how you gonna listen to me then? And then we're in real trouble.
Right. So, and you know what? That's the main thing my husband says all the time.
Yeah.
That he tells the kids all the time, if you're not listening now, what about an emergency? He always says that. What about in an emergency? And I mean, obviously, again, I have smaller kids, so it's a little bit different in the way that they receive information. And when they're younger, you do have to repeat things, over and over again. And that's definitely, a place that I'm not really fond of being in. So right now, I know you have like a couple of different things going on in your life, that you are juggling. Talk a little bit about, making time for your daughter. Like, what does that look like for you to make time for her? Because I know that you have, a couple of different things that you're involved in.
Yeah, it's very difficult. I take her with me everywhere, and sometimes I like to make that as an excuse as me spending time with her because sometimes I could leave her at home, sometimes I could leave her, with my mom or something. But no, I'm gonna bring her with me, not only because I haven't spent time with her, but also because I want her to see what I'm doing. I want her to know that listen, it's not that I'm not trying to give you one-on-one time or anything like that. Is that mommy's working. Mommy's trying to break generational curses so that you can carry the legacy, right? And I want her to see what it takes to do that. It's gonna take a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of work, a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of times on the computer, a lot of times on your phone, a lot. I mean, it just takes a lot of energy. And
Yeah.
so I want her to see it. But then, of course, every once in a while, like for example, we came to Atlanta this past week and I got to see you in person.
Yes, I know.
And so
Warmed my heart.
we went to Stone Mountain and we hiked up the mountain and it was just me and her. And I made sure to say, this is our mommy daughter time. I wasn't on my phone. I couldn't be because I was passing out trying to hike a freaking mountain. So I wasn't on my phone. We talked all the way up. We talked about how our legs were hurting, how we're gonna soak in the tub afterwards,
Right.
and then we talked about how beautiful the city was once we got to the top and how much we struggled to get to the top. And I even talked to her about life. This is the struggle you have to climb. Even we sat down a few times and it's okay. In life, you're gonna have to sit down. You're gonna have to take it
Take a
easy. You're
break.
gonna have to
Mhm.
take a break, gather yourself, and continue to climb. You can't fall backwards. You can't give up
Yeah.
and just say, bump it, I just can't do it.
Right.
We had amazing conversation. You think she was grown because we were having awesome conversation. I asked her if she understands, and you know, I gave her some examples about school. I'm still not done with my dissertation. I've been taking a lot of breaks. I've been stopping a lot. However, um, I'm gonna continue to climb because I know that it's something that I have to finish. So we had that
Yeah.
conversation. I gave her examples. She gave me some of the examples for herself. She's in dance right now. She still can't really do a split all the way flat, right? I'm like, you're 11. You're supposed to be so limber, right?
Flexible.
Like, what's going on? And she says, well, I wasn't doing that well before because I hadn't been stretching or whatever, but now I'm stretching a lot more. And I'm like, okay, that's a great example. So you're gonna continue, and then you're gonna be doing flips and all kinds
Working
of
your
stuff. We
way
ain't gonna
through.
be able to stop you, right? So I thought it was pretty neat that she was able to give me her life examples because she has had many experiences as an 11-year-old, right? They're different than mine, but she is having a tough life. Oh man, you can't tell her that she's not. And I understand because at 11, those things that they're going through and that peer pressure and
It feels tough. It
your
feels tough.
hair looks a certain way and your friend's hair doesn't look like that and you're
Yeah.
wearing this and all of those things are big deals when you're 11.
Yeah.
So it is stressful for them, even though we're looking like, girl, pay this bill. That's stressful. you
Well,
know
I think that, I mean, even though your daughter's 11, my daughter's 6, and, she's so concerned about the way she looks. You
Mhm.
know, she's checking in the mirror, mommy, does my hair look okay? Or I don't like this, or I want it to look like this. And, I had to have the conversation with her about, it's okay to be comfortable in your own skin, just because she was watching these different things on YouTube
Mhm.
and looking at all these different things of little girls that didn't look like her,
Mhm.
and so she was like, oh, I want my hair that color, or I want my hair straight. And I told her, I said, well, mommy's not wearing her hair straight. I said,
Mhm.
mommy gets her hair straightened. Usually before I lost my hair, I would get my hair straightened at the beginning of the year, to get my ends trimmed and that kind of thing, to kind of clean up my hair. I said,
Right.
but other than that, I usually would wear it in a natural state or, have a protective style. And,
Mhm.
now that I've decided to lock my hair, she has asked me like 2 or 3 times, mommy, can I lock my hair? Mommy, can I lock my hair? And I'm hesitant only because I don't think she realized how permanent it is. you know, and I don't want her to make such a permanent decision, but at the same time, she's made a lot of other decisions, you know, on her own. And so I've asked her a couple of times, I'm like, are you sure? Do you want mommy like your hair? Well, she's, you know, because now she's like, well, I want my hair like yours, mommy. I want it. Can you twist my hair, or can you make my hair look like yours? Because I just want her to know the importance of being, you know, confident in her own skin, and that it's okay to wear her hair the way that it grows out of her head, you know.
Yes, I agree, and that's a tough conversation to have. And I had a similar conversation with Jada, and I don't even think she was 6. I think she was like 4 in pre-K. What?
Yes,
And she
when they
was
start
going.
being around other kids.
We were in North Carolina, and most of her classmates were Caucasian, and she wanted the long straight hair. I'm like, honey, you don't have that kind of hair. I said, and you know what? I bet they want your hair. And it goes both ways. Like, people with curly hair want straight hair. People with straight hair want curly hair. And I went through a phase like that too, where I wanted my hair to be, I didn't want to have to go through so much to straighten it whenever I wanted to straighten it. But right. I've always embraced my curls. And I tried to tell her the same thing. She's 11 now, so she's more into whatever is in now, and natural hair is in. Right. Hey, but guess what? It needs to be in for the rest of your life. It's right. Not something that you just in and out of. And be happy that you can wear it straight. You can wear it curly. You can wear it in a fro. You can wear it however you want to wear it. You're right. Lucky. You're the lucky one. You have diverse hair. You can do whatever you want with it.
And I can't remember what state it was. I know recently it's been floating around the conversation just about how a state, and I'm gonna be honest, I just don't remember where it was location wise, that, you know, they passed a law for people of color, but African Americans, to be able to wear their hair the way it naturally grows out of their head. I can't remember what state that was, but I know that.
I want to say it was Texas.
I don't know. I don't remember the location, but I remember seeing Jill Scott say that, you know, why do we even, why is it 2020 and we even have to, you know, deal with these types of things? And I think it's just so important for Black and brown little boys and little girls to be able to understand the importance of love, of self-love, you know, loving themselves just the way they are, you know. And I had to start very early with my daughter with like affirmations, you know, affirming her so that she could understand how beautiful she is. You know, my husband always calls her princess, you know, beautiful princess. When she gets dressed, oh, you look so pretty. He just tries to remind her of how beautiful she looks and how pretty she is. And he also tries to make sure that she hears him say those same things about me. So, you know, the influence that the father figure has on the daughter, you know, is very important. Talk a little bit about, you know, what your daughter's relationship looks like with her dad.
Yeah, so she loves her dad, right? There's it's just a special love between a daughter and a father. I know. They can't do nothing wrong. It's okay, mommy. He's tired. Just do it. What? Are you serious right now? You know, and I think as she's gotten older, she understands, okay, there's a balance, it's equality. So it's not just he's tired. Well, I'm tired too. Sometimes I'm tired too. A lot of time, you know. So she gets it, especially because she goes with me almost everywhere, right? But oh man, she's still like, she's a daddy's girl. She calls him the fixer, which he is. He can fix almost anything. So anything goes wrong, she's like, don't worry, daddy's got it. Just put it to the side. We're just gonna let him know that we need him to fix that when he gets home.
But you know, they say that men are fixers. Like, that's the way they work in their mind. They're problem solvers. They see a problem they want to solve. They say if you have a problem and you don't want it solved, like you just want to talk about it, that you shouldn't take it to a man, because in their minds, once you start talking to them about a problem, they automatically start thinking of a solution. You know, like even if you had a problem with a homegirl or whatever, and you talking to your husband about it, and you know, saying what you're doing, he like, okay, well, look, stop talking to her. you know, this and you're like, no, I'm not about to stop talking to her. I'm just trying to tell you what's going on. But see, in their mind, they just trying to fix it.
It's a small thing. I can't end the whole relationship off of one small thing.
But they trying to fix it. And I do think that a lot of times the husbands, the males, the boyfriend, you know, whomever that male role model is in the home, a lot of times just the way a lot of men function, they are fixers. They are people who want to solve a problem, you know, and if you are in a relationship with somebody who doesn't want to solve your problems and doesn't want to make things better, you know, that it's important to reevaluate, you know, what that looks like. You know, because even though they're fixers, you know, we're nurturers by nature. It's natural that we just want to care for them and love on them, you know. It's kind of an unconditional thing. So last week, one of the things that I talked about was how, you know, that whole girl dad and that father-daughter relationship, you know, I talked a little bit about how, you know, I found myself when my daughter was first born, being a little jealous of her, just because of the relationship that she has with her father that I did not have, you know. And I said, why you got to hold all the time? Why you got to do these things? So talk a little bit about, you know, the relationship that your daughter has with her father and how that relationship makes you feel based on the relationship you have with your father.
Oh, that's very deep. So, okay, I'm gonna say it this way because there's a big difference between my relationship with my father and the relationship that my daughter has with her father. One of them is the cultural.
Don't go into too much detail. Y'all go get the book.
Yeah, I ain't going into all of that because, but I still am. I do consider myself a daddy's girl still, even with all of the things that I've been through with my dad. But, oh Lord, I'm thinking about my dad now. But I think that the culture plays a big difference. So my mom and my dad, they're both Dominican. I come from a Dominican background. But Hispanics are very different from Jamaicans, and you know, Jada's dad is Jamaican. So my dad was all over me, just like I was all over him. Still am. I hug and kiss my dad, and you know, I was the apple of his eye. I would run into his arms, and he would hug me and kiss me, whatever. Omar's not like that. He's not touchy-feely. He's not, you know, the way he shows his love is by doing. He fixes everything. He makes sure she has everything she needs. I have to remind him sometimes, like, you don't tell her she just got her hair done, boy. You gotta go tell her she look good, like, you know. And you know, he's like, oh yeah, let me go. He'd be like, oh yeah, let me go. Hey Jada, nice hair. And it's like, oh my God, no, like go hug her, go say, damn girl, you look nice. Let me see that dress, you know, stuff like that. But that's the type of relationship I had with my dad. I didn't have to tell my dad that. My dad, I mean, but I don't think he does not. I don't think he does it on purpose. And I think that he wants to be more like that. But culturally, it's just a big difference. However, Jada knows how her dad is. And she loves him exactly how he is. You know, they do stuff like fix her bike pedals together. He loves to plant. He has a green thumb. So she used to go out in the yard with him and stuff like that. They do stuff like that, right? So it's a different relationship. I'm touchy-feely. When I came to your house, I hugged you and I said, hi, how are you? That's me. I'm right. You know, I need to touch you. I need you to touch me. I need you to say, hey, you're here. You're alive. Hi. you know? And that's me. Jada's all over me all the time.
Is that your love language?
It is. Physical
touch. Okay.
Yeah, it is. And I'm very sentimental. So physical touch and gifts, not expensive gifts, just gifts that have meaning, gifts that I can like hold dear to my heart. Like, those are my two things. And
do you know your daughter's love language?
I don't. I haven't had her take the test. I've never even thought about.
Oh, she does. They have a kids version. They have you know, a
Yeah, I
kid's
didn't know
version of
that.
the love languages. I think it will probably be good that now that she's a little bit older,
That
for
would be a
her to
good
be able to
idea.
kind of, yeah, for her to be able to walk through it, for you to be able to identify. Because I think, you know, in those ages, now you would have to tell me, because honey, my children are 1, 5, and 6, so I don't know nothing about them ages yet, them double digits. Okay, I don't know nothing about that. I'm just talking based on experience with high schoolers. Okay, when I taught high school, I would say that a lot of times they're feeling things and dealing with things that they don't know how to express.
Hmm.
And, you know, if you are able to help them identify the way that they feel loved, I think that could be such a great tool,
Hmm.
because there are so many young people committing suicide these days. And a lot of
Mm.
times it's because we're loving on them in a way that doesn't
They're
speak
not
to them,
even
that they're not
exactly.
even
I hear you.
receiving. You know,
Yep.
so I think it's a great tool to potentially be able to use. But we've been on here for a good little minute. So before we go, I want you to share with people, you know, I know you got a new book cover and you got a new video. I mean, you just got all this stuff out. So tell people a little bit about what you have going on right now and where they can find you and where they can purchase your book and things like that.
Awesome. So my website Revolutionary Diamond, revolutionary-diamond.com. But mainly I want people to go to on Amazon.com and order the book, just because I'm trying to make the numbers and just really trying to get myself out there. Leave reviews. So I'm not gonna go into that much detail because I went into it on my own page. I don't want to take up all of your time with your Mommy Mondays, but I had to change the
Your
cover of
time.
my book. I think I have my other book here somewhere, and I do. So, um, this is the old cover, which
Yes, that's the
was
old one.
fine to me, right? But there were some things that were not, didn't make it as
Aesthetically.
marketable
Mm-hmm.
to other people. So me being, I wouldn't say I'm a perfectionist, but I do want to do things the right way. And sometimes you have to do it wrong in order to get it right. And I'm okay with that. I have a growth mindset. I learned that in my AP class, girl. I have a growth mindset. So I'm willing to grow and to learn along the way until I do get it right. And I think as a lifetime learner, there's always going to be something that I'm doing, right? We're always changing. We can't help evolution, and I'm fine with that. I'm not a person that's hard to say, hey, I was wrong. Let me
Right.
go back and reflect on this and see, how I can make it better. So this is the new cover, which I actually like it a lot more. It looks a little more modern. It looks brighter. It looks
Mm-hmm.
whatever, you know. I don't know. I'll put them next to each other. Some people still like the old one. But anyways, so you can go on Amazon and find it. I am also planning a book tour, and I'm also planning a an official ebook learning. Oh my god, I'm talking about e-learning. Ebook release,
That's
because
what
I've only
that's that
had the
teacher life
print.
for you.
I'm telling you, I've only had the print release, and I'm gonna do an ebook release. So very, very soon I'll be giving more information about, I'll have a special going on where everyone can download it for a minimal price. So look forward to that. And my Instagram is Revolutionary Diamond, and my Facebook is Revolutionary Diamond.
Yeah, that's look revolutionary dime. You can't go wrong if you look it up. It's all over the place.
Yes.
So, but I greatly appreciate you. I mean, I know we went a little bit over the time. They still here. We appreciate y'all. They're still here, but I appreciate you taking just a little bit of time. I know I don't have a
Thank you for
script, and I know
having me.
sometimes my questions can catch people off guard.
I liked your questions, actually. It
But
made me think a little bit. It sure
but
did.
I don't plan them. It's just based off of how the week goes and how my Monday goes. That's kind of how my questions come to life. But I appreciate you. And of course, you guys, next Monday, I have a dad.
Ooh.
Next Monday, I have a dad who will be with me. He'll be my second dad. I had a dad with me on my third week. So you guys come back next week. Be talking with a dad who has a large family and what they're doing with their
You
family.
having
So
more kids?
am I having more kids?
Yeah.
No. No. Are you having more kids?
Whatever God wants.
Well, for me, it's a no.
So
For me, it's a
silly.
no. But okay. Great way to end my Mondays, Jenny. Yes. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will see you all next week. Bye-bye.